Hi everybody, you've arrived at Todd's World of Cooking. Today we're going to the African continent and specifically to the country of Tanzania, and I'm going to show you how to make Tanzanian curried peanut butter stew. Now I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that notification bell. And now here's everything you're going to need for this recipe. Alright, so let's get started. I already have the onions in the oil for just a light saute, and I'm going to add the garlic. Now you don't want to cook the garlic too long because it will become bitter. All you're really doing is releasing some of the oils from the garlic. Give that a little bit of a stir. And next we're going to add our curry powder. Once again, you do not want to cook this too long. It will start to burn. All you're doing is releasing the flavor of the curry powder. I like to call that waking up the curry. And now we'll add our can of tomatoes. Now you can chop fresh tomatoes if you like. I prefer using a can just because I like those juices that are in there. I think it really helps with the cooking process in this part of the recipe. Now you want to make sure that you have your cap on your bottle of oil so that when you knock it over like I just did, that it doesn't spill all over your table or counter. And we're just going to give this a good mix. This is already smelling absolutely delicious. Now we're going to add our peanut butter, and you're going to notice that the peanut butter is going to start to melt into the vegetables that we have in there. And that's exactly what you want it to do. Now you can see that everything we've added so far has been pretty quick, just one ingredient after another. That's why this recipe is so great. It comes together really quickly. And you can see that peanut butter is starting to melt down in there. So we're going to go ahead and add our stock. I'm using chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock if you want this to be vegetarian or vegan. It's completely up to you. I just happen to have chicken stock in the cabinet, so that's what I'm using. We're going to give this a little bit of a stir. This is on medium-low heat, and we want to bring it up to a simmer. Not a rolling boil, just a nice simmer. And we want this to simmer for about 10 minutes. And now it's been simmering for about 10 minutes. You can see that that's just a really nice simmer. And we're going to add our lemon juice. Now if you don't have one of these lemon squeezers, I suggest you get one. They keep the seeds out and you get all the juice in there. I love this thing. Get all that lemon juice in there. Give it another nice stir. Get that all mixed in there. And I'm adding a little bit more of the stock. I wrote down in the recipe that it takes 2.5 cups, but this is something you really have to eyeball because we are going to bring this up to medium high now. because we want it to be at a light boil before we add our vegetables. And now here we are with a nice light boil. We've got our vegetables all chopped up. There's our ginger. I have broccoli, cauliflower, some red onions, bell peppers, the serrano pepper. I did originally have some snow peas in with this mix, but I decided I didn't want those in there. I didn't think they looked right, so I didn't get all of them out, so I'm going to take that one out. And now just give this a stir, and we're going to bring this up to a light boil once again. Get those vegetables cooked nicely. You don't want to overcook the vegetables because you really want them to have a little bit of a bite to them still. You can use a fork to test that. So here I've had them cooking until they were to my liking as far as the tenderness goes of the vegetables. I'm going to add the cilantro, mix that around. And something you may have noticed is that I did not add any salt and pepper. That's because there are so many flavors in this stew, it doesn't need salt and pepper. So now I'm going to be serving this with rice. I'm using basmati. You can use any kind of white rice that you want. You can also serve it with fufu. That's actually how it's traditionally served. And if you'd like me to make a video on how to make fufu, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to do that. Something else you can do, you can add fish to this stew. If you want another protein, you can also add like a poached chicken. That makes it absolutely delicious also. I usually just make it as a vegetarian or a vegetable stew. You can also change up the peppers that you use. I used one serrano in this batch. I had a friend of mine who made this stew a few years ago, and he used seven habanero peppers. It was pretty spicy. I garnished with a sprinkling of cilantro, and that is it. It's ready to go. I can tell you one thing. My house smells absolutely amazing right now. This is so good. So there you have it. Tanzanian curried peanut butter stew. I hope you give this a try. It's absolutely delicious. As you can see, it's an absolutely gorgeous stew. And as always, have an awesome day.